Um, uh, where did you go when you were here to make friends with
Oh, the
people?
Irish Club.
That was where it
That's
was.
where I made most of my friends that I have here in this country.
When
Was
they,
at the Irish Club.
yeah. And how about the banking friends? Do you have friends through banking for work so much?
Just through work, and don't really socialize outside of work with them.
Okay. Um, and so that's now this is your career. Your banking is going to be your career, or are you thinking of doing something else?
No, I've been doing it for almost 20 years. I might as well stick with it.
And you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's a good company that I'm working for. So
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, you said you became a citizen, but you didn't tell us when. When did you become a citizen?
the exact date I don't know. I believe it was approximately 5 years ago.
Okay.
So around 1990, 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, your life now. Your dad passed away. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And your mom is still here,
Yes.
and Sean is still here, and your
Yep.
brother's still over. When you go home, do you ever go to stay with your brother at home?
Oh, I always spend the weekend there.
Yeah.
I normally go to Ireland usually for just under 2 weeks, usually 10 or 11 days.
Yeah.
And either the first weekend I'd either travel down to him. Well, he normally actually comes to Clonmel to collect me, which is it's about a 2 hour drive from where he is. He's on the west side of Cork.
Uh-huh.
So he normally comes to collect me Thursday night, Friday morning. I normally stay there down until Sunday evening. Then I come back, and it's usually the day before I fly back to the States. So, yep.
Yeah. And so, now, has he been over here? Does he come over to visit? I mean, I know he lived here for
he
a little while, but
he came over once to visit, probably around 7 years ago. He keeps saying that he's going to come again for a visit, but now he has two teenage kids. Well, one is almost a teenager; he's 11, going on 21.
uh-huh.
But you know how those are.
Yes, yeah.
But now for a family of four to get on a plane to go to America, it's kind of costly.
Expensive, yes, it is.
Yeah, they can do other things.
Yeah,
They can go to Spain, still have the sun.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
know.
it's
So
not too far to get to
right.
Spain, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It there. If you were to think about raising a well, obviously you do. You think about raising
Hmm.
a child because you have a child here. Do you ever think that it would be a good place to raise Kyla? To be in
In
Ireland?
Ireland,
Yeah.
the early parts, yes. Once she gets to later teens, I think it's better over here. She has more opportunities,
Mm.
and by that saying that she will go to college. Even though a lot of when I was growing up in Ireland, I did my leaving cert, which is the highest I went to before college. Most people at that time, unless they wanted to be a teacher or a doctor or a nurse or something like that, they didn't go to college.
Mm.
So I never went to college. It was never. I never even wanted to go to college because I didn't want to be a nurse because I hated the sight of blood.
Uh-huh.
For nowadays, more people are going to college in Ireland, but I think she'd have more opportunities over here with her life
Yeah.
than what she would in Ireland.
That's tough, isn't it? That leaving
Yeah.
cert, and that's a hard thing in the schooling over there. It's a lot. Do you think it's more advanced than our schooling here?
I spoke to a few people actually when I first came over, and they said it's the equivalent of the second year in college over here,
By
the
the
leaving
time they
certificate,
graduate,
right?
yeah.
Right.
And it's a tough time for kids when they're going through that
Oh yeah,
leaving cert.
yeah. Especially when you grow up in the 80s when you haven't got two brass farthings really to rub together. It's not like nowadays, but most of my friends left school when they were 13 and 14 and got a job in the local factory.
Wow.
I was, well, I think it was bet into me to at least do my leaving cert.
Yeah.
My parents never really wanted me to go to college, unless I wanted it myself. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't really want it myself, but they pushed me to do my leaving cert.
To make sure you had
Right.
that. Yeah.
So at least I had that behind
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Do you think that if you were to decide right now that you were going back to Ireland, you probably get a pretty good job, wouldn't you, with the experience you've had here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I get a lot more benefits being a single parent.
Uh huh.
Here in America, there's not many benefits at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Ireland, there is. You get housing, everything,
Yeah.
monthly supplements, everything.
Yeah. So you must have made a pretty good adjustment to stay here.
I think I got used to it.
Yeah.
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 The weeks became months and the months became years, so
Yeah.
just getting used to it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm still used to it.
Oh well.
After 20 years.
If you went back to live there, what do you think you missed most here?
The beaches.
Oh.
Yep. I love in the summertime or even like early spring to drive down to the beach and just walk along the beach. I miss that in Ireland. Even though the local beach, as I say, would be probably 30 minutes away in a car, which is not too far, but it still is not the same. You don't have the same heat. I mean, the hottest I ever remember it in summertime in Ireland was 65, 70 at the hottest. And then you'd be going out spreading vinegar on your arms trying to get a colour. And with my complexion, I stayed white.
Either that or bright red, I would think.
Yeah.
Do you tan here?
No. I'm white in the beginning of the summer and I'm white in the end.
So you must have to use a lot of
sunblock.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
A lot of sunblock.
Yep. What did you think of the heat when you first got here?
My first summer here, I fell asleep outside in the heat for probably an hour. And when I woke up, my whole body was red raw. Yeah, it was close to sunstroke, so can I never do that again? Beach time for me in the summer is bring my daughter down, but it's not sitting down in a deck chair. It's walking along the beach and walking in the water. And I don't swim because I have phobia about swimming too. But I was always a fast runner when I was a child in Ireland, so I never got pushed in by the boys into the local river. So yeah, so I never learned how to swim.
Now you dodge the waves, but
yeah.
And does Kyla swim?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
she swims.
You have the phobia, but she doesn't. That's
right.
Good. That's a good thing. Yeah. What would you say if you're thinking back onto your childhood? What would be one of your favorite memories that you look back on now?
Oh, it would have to be when I was 7 or 8. I'd asked my dad for years and years to get a puppy. We had different stray dogs growing up from time to time, but one of my father's co-workers in the hotel, his dog was having puppies. So every evening I'd run out to my father's car and say, "Did you get the puppy? Did you get the puppy?" No, this went on for quite a few nights and weeks. Finally, I gave up. I'm sitting down by the fire and watching TV. My dad comes in. He's like, "Carolyn, do me a favour, go out to the back of the car. In the back seat, there's a box. Will you bring it in to me?" "I don't want to. I'm watching this show." And he's like, "No, please, please." So I go out, open up the car door, and I see this black puppy.
Oh, wow.
I didn't think I got into the house quick enough with this thing. I think I stayed up all night long playing with this dog. I think my father finally had to say, "Okay, give me the dog. You can see him in the morning." Yeah, Max. He was my favourite dog. I think it's because I waited so long for him. Yeah. And then he got ran down by car. Yeah.
In your housing estate?
Yeah. Because most of the dogs in Ireland, they were outside dogs.
Yes, right.
They come into the house like of a rainy day or something, but the majority of them, slept in the house or, they slept out in the yard in the shade.
Right, yeah.
But
oh, that's sad.
yeah, he had to be put down because he broke his leg. Yeah.
What a shame. That's lousy.
That's Max.
Well, someday you hope to go back and retire, but then probably the days will turn into weeks, and the weeks will turn into months, and you'll be a grandmother, and then you'll be saying,
and then I won't want to move.
Yeah. I don't want to go back there. It'll be the same thing all over again. Well, this has been real interesting. I've really enjoyed talking with you. Is there anything that you can think of that we didn't cover that you would like to make sure that gets mentioned in this interview before we close?
No, I think you covered pretty much everything.
Did I? Gee, I did a good job.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you get an A. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Carol.
Oh, thank you.
I'm glad I caught you in the
parking
lot.
Yes.
And good night.
All right, thank you.